How you doing? You came back. It's fucking raining today. I think it rains. We got the coronavirus. We got rain. It's cold. I think God hates us. That's what it is. Maybe this is payback for people licking people's buttholes. What's wrong with this world? Anyway, so today, Big Red, here she is. I love this bike. Don't get me wrong. I love all bikes. I don't care what you ride. Ride. That's all that matters. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, you got to ride Harley. Harley's the bike. It's the bike for you. Man, fuck that shit. Ride whatever you want to ride. I've got a hodgepodge of everything. Hell, I've even got a Skag. I ride that bitch a lot. Anyway, so I want to install these. Let's see. Let me get you focused in here. There's a little bit of a glare, I think, right there. All right, 2-inch mini LED work lamps. I picked these up at a local chrome shop for tractor trailers. These things are bright. He hooked one up. They're really bright. This is what they look like out of the package. Wipe it off. They're tiny, really tiny. Come with basic hardware. Here's your little mounting bracket. And so, obviously these weren't made for motorcycle applications. So, they didn't really come with motorcycle mounting hardware. While hanging out with a buddy of mine over the weekend, I talked about this. And I thought I was going to be able to go to like Tractor Supply and pick up pod mounts. You know, the round ones that go on like four-wheeler racks to mount that, or on brush guards of trucks. But those things were like huge. I mean, these were big, bulky mounts. And I don't understand why. I've never mounted a light bar on a truck. I think that's stupid, personally. But I don't understand why your road vehicle needs that much light. That's illegal. So that was uneventful. So my buddy's like, why don't you use, because where I want to mount it, I don't know if you can see. All right. See here? I'm actually going to go underneath this to blend in. I was going to go here inside the highway bar, but I'm afraid it's going to look gaudy. And I like things to be very uniform, and I'm afraid that just these two pods hanging down like that. That's my little dance for you. I figured it was just going to really stand out, and I kind of want them to just blend into the bike so they're not really seen. So we've got a place called Classic Iron. Now, this is not a commercial for Classic Iron. I'm real quick to point that out too. Just because I name these places, it doesn't mean I recommend these places. It doesn't mean that these places are somehow helping me out. They don't give me deals. I pay full price. I'm nobody special. I'm just a fat bearded guy riding a motorcycle. They don't care that I have a YouTube channel. They don't care about any of that. But what they do have is used parts. Because Classic Iron sells used motorcycles. And they have hundreds of used motorcycles. So when they bring parts in, or bikes in, that have rusty parts, like highway pegs, that are just dull, busted, bike's been laid down, they take all that shit off. So the guy takes me in the back, because my buddy suggested, use the mounts for highway pegs. I'm calling them highway pegs. If you call them something else, I don't give a fuck. Call them whatever the fuck you want. So I picked up these. Now, at the beginning of the video, I showed a picture of all the things I was using. These were chrome in the picture. So I painted them. I was going to take them to my powder coater at White Oak Powder Coating, but we couldn't make it happen. We just couldn't get together. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to spray paint it. So I first spray painted with Tractor and implement paint. It's a little bit thicker. I get it at Tractor Supply. I like that paint. But I painted it with flat, and then I realized the only thing flat black on my bike is my exhaust. Where I'm mounting this is gloss. So I painted them gloss over top of the flat. This is finished product. Turned out really nice. Back open like that. So, and they actually match the ones I already have on the bike. The only problem is these are a slightly larger diameter than what I need. So with that being said, here's the other one. Turned out really nice. Pretty. So I've decided that I'm going to use double-sided tape to go between that and my bar. That does two things. I decide to take these back off one day because I don't like them, then I don't have a scratched up highway bar, crash bar. Those things, they won't be scratched. Whatever you want to call them. So I'm tired of people saying, that's not what it's called. It's called this. You're not calling it the official term. Fuck you and your official term. I'll call it whatever the hell I want. I don't know if you guys know this or not. I make the payments on this bike. Nobody else. I'm so hostile today. Maybe because it's raining. I just want to be outside. Yeah, I just want to be outside. Anyway, let's move on. And let's get started. You want to do this? Let's fucking do this. as I test fit these, placement is everything. As you saw in the last clip, see this piece here? So what I didn't take into account for was the fact that that sits down. Right now, I'm very close. So I'm actually touching just a hair. So I'm going to slide this down just a little bit more. And it's all about placement. Let's get a look at how this is going to appear on the bike. I'm going to tuck that back just a hair. So that's where it's going to hide. Right under that peg. It's hardly going to be seen. The plan is to run the wires hidden in here up into the fairing. As you saw in the beginning, I showed all the parts. This is an important part. So I picked this up at my Harley dealership. Surprisingly, it wasn't expensive. This is an auxiliary power switch kit on the fairing mount. So, I'm going to say so a lot. On my fairing, here, let me set this down. We have blanks here and here. What this gives you is the ability, as you can see there, to fill those. This comes with the wiring. This comes with inline fuse. The, let's see, I'll read it to you. Maybe that'll be easier. Auxiliary power switches allow you to control additional fog lamps, auxiliary lighting, heated gear, and electrical accessories with the touch of a finger. Kit includes 2 auxiliary switches, wire harness, and installation hardware. I see a relay. I see an inline fuse, which it's all plug and play. You wire this right up to the battery. It's got the eyelet. Hook it up to the power. I don't see a ground. Everything's probably pre-grounded. And it gives you a way to tie right into the wiring harness. Everything's just plug and play. It's really nice. So, as you can see, is that picture better? Oh, the price. Oh, let's start with the part number. Looks like the part number is 714-00129. All right. Now, they do sell one of these that doesn't come with all the wiring. And then there's one other one they offer that's a little different. I didn't like that one. But it's $139.95. I thought that was pretty reasonable. So my lights were $20 each. So we're up to $40. I got these for $10 because they were used. I've got $4 in paint, so say $55 there. So for $200, I'm doing it myself. Oh, wire, which is hard to find. It's hard to find. I think it's either 16 or 18 gauge 2-wire. That's really difficult to find. Everything's 3-wire. And I didn't want to go with speaker wire. I didn't want to go with, I had a look that I was going for. So, I'm going to use these things that I got off Facebook. I've got those buried here somewhere. I'll dig those out and show you. It's these butt connectors that solder when you heat them up. So I'm on Facebook. A friend of mine ordered them for me because I don't like ordering shit from the internet. But let's move on with this. We've got a lot of wiring to do. We've got to pull the seat. We've got to pull the dash. I'm going to show you how to do that. That's super simple on these things. I'm not pulling the fairing at all. I'm pulling this cover. It's 2 screws. And this piece here, you got to pull that. Super simple. Back in the old days, I don't know when the switch happened. I used to know. Maybe it was 14. Maybe it was 4. Don't quote me on that. But you used to have to pull the thingy. We'll call it the key thing. The lock. The lock. You used to have to put your key in, put it in a certain position, pull it out. Hopefully the pins don't fall. Then you got to take it to Harley. You don't have to do that anymore. On these, it's got that cover under the lock that pops up, slides out. I'll show you that here in a second. Pop the 2 screws. The screws are going to be a little difficult, only because the factory 47 bars I installed. My dogs are barking at something. Factory 47 bars I installed sit slightly forward, so they're in line with the screws. I got them on there, so I got to be able to get them off. I was drunk when I installed the bars. Anyway, moving forward. Super simple. I don't see there being a problem here at all. This should be easy. Running the wire under the tank to the battery. Simple enough. It's just a lot of little tedious shit because I am a perfectionist and I want everything hidden really nicely. I hear my dogs growling upstairs. Somebody might be here, which no one should be here because I don't like people. If someone is here, maybe this is the time I get to kill somebody. Nah, I doubt it. But anyway, let's get this started. Recommendation. I know a lot of people that when doing things like this, they're just going to tighten everything down. Leave your lights loose. There's no need to rush. Work from the lights up to your dash, down to your battery, then follow your steps back. The reason I say that, and look, I'm no professional. I'm self-taught. I had a great stepdad. That's what I had. And then I had a great Larry. I'll tell you those stories later. My stepdad taught me a lot of good things. He taught me work ethic. He taught me always put your fucking tools away. I remember a time I thought I was going to build the baddest bicycle in the world. And my stepdad we were poor growing up. Don't get me wrong, we were poor. A house full of love. We were rich on love, but we were poor. Almost brings a tear to my eye thinking of how poor we were. We didn't have garages. We lived in this shack in Kentucky that started as like a 1960s mobile home we just kept adding on to. We didn't have running water in our house. We carried water from the river. We had this huge tank in our backyard. It was like say it was a 1,000-gallon tank that we saved up for like 2 years to get. And we caught the water from the gutters, and then we had a little pump in there that would pump in. But we had a lot of droughts back then. We don't have the rain we have today. So we would go to the river with 5-gallon buckets that Dad brought from the coal mines, and we would fill these buckets, put them in the bed of his truck. Now they're sloshing all over the place. We'd come home and fill this tank. It took a lot of work. And that's how we took baths. But I'm getting way off subject. So one time I was building these bikes, and I wanted a chopper bike. So I cut the forks and cut the forks and cut the forks, and when you slide them over, man, I had this long... Anyway, I would borrow his tools, and now his little workshop was under the house. No basement, no floor, dirt floor. He laid rubber from belt line from the coal belt that carried the belt up. So that's what he had laid down. We had these old, I want to say they were Craftsman toolboxes, the cheap ones. And he had these things for years, and he took so much pride in his tools. I borrowed some tools, and I didn't put them back. Then he hit them with the lawnmower. I wasn't allowed to use his tools anymore. I had to save my money and get my own tools. And that taught me a lesson when I had to pay for my own. I think that's a lot of the problems we have in this world is everything's given. Everybody wants something for free. They don't want to earn it. Oh, we got deep in this conversation. Oh my God. We're going to get back to these slides. But anyway, so my stepdad taught me a lot of things. He taught me always put your tools away, take pride in what you do, take pride in your work. If your name's on it, you own it. This is, these lights fail in the middle of the night. No, I'm not going to die from it. I've still got a headlight. But, let's say I'm doing this for somebody and the lights fail on them. That's on me. At least in this situation, I'm just going to be mad at myself, and I'm going to be the one looking stupid when only one light works. So start at one spot, work your way out, go here, then follow your steps back. Make sure everything across all T's, dot every I. Get this done right. We're playing with electrical here. We don't want something to short out, break down on you. I'm riding to California here in just a few months. Last thing I want is, because I did something wrong, this thing to short out, burn up the computer. I'm sitting with no warranty, way the hell out in the middle of nowhere. So, gotta take our time, do it right. Make sure we use quality parts and do quality work. So if you take anything from my videos, quality work, quality parts. You got that? Do you have that? Are you even paying attention? God. So what I thought was screws, it's been a long time since I had it off. I think they're called hex heads. We're still going to call them screws. The two screws up here that hold the dash on. So I'm going to go get my little kit. It's got all the different stars, so we can get in there and get that. So this is the kit I use. I got this at Harbor Freight. So it's a T25 bit. And I've used its little holder, an extension, and a ratchet. I already took that one out. Let's go to the other side. Come with me. You like my song? Let's put the fuckboy whip down. Alright, what I've noticed is, so you've got a little play. It's really tight in here. You put it in, and you can pull back, and that dash moves a little bit. to get it broke loose. Put your tool down, set it here, so it's out of the way. Reach in there, and you get that screw. See how fat my hands are? So this is hard for me. Hard angle to get too. Alright, so screw. That's your head. Just set that here so it blends in, so I lose it easily. Now, the part that's fun, like I said, this piece comes off. I've already broken it loose. Comes right off. Be careful with that. See that little piece? That will snap. Mine's really close. Because like I said, I was drunk when I did my bars. So, I was a little rough. Now, this will pull off. You do have to turn this in a direction. Can't remember which direction it was. It's hard to do this and hold you guys at the same time. Alright, see how that comes over? Just like so. Now I'm going to unplug everything behind here. Get that out of the way. And then I can get to the back of this. So, stay tuned. So I'm going to try to do this with you guys watching. Get these little screwdrivers. I might be fucking up. I may have to set you down. But, alright. If you look close, I'll get you in here. Can you see? Alright, there's a clip on each side. Open it up, slide this off. It's the only plug. Now, okay, I lied. There's two more plugs. This one, and this one over here. So let's talk about this for a second. This one, you can't get to. Because the jackass that installed it upside down, and you couldn't push the button to take this off. So remember I said it was plug and play? Notice the plug? Aha. So, let's figure out what we do next. Because I've never done this before. This is the plug that does your two gauges. So it's going to be your speed and your tack. So one plug does that. Anybody who has never done their bars before, super easy. Here, 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 here. The hardest part is running the wire. Wire runs through here, comes out right in the middle, right there. What I used was the chain from a vacuum cleaner. I'm an idiot. Why did I say? Because I need to vacuum my house. I used the chain from a ceiling fan. I fed that through. I soaked the inside of the bars with PB Blaster. Got them nice and oiled up inside. Going to prevent rust later down the road, I'm sure. And fed that through, pulled the wire, came through, first try, both sides. I got lucky as shit. So, I know that light's really bright. Hey, look. Hi. Anyway. So, let's figure out how we do this. I've never done this before. Let's get it done. As I'm opening this thing, decided I should probably show you what's on it. So I'm going to show you the side here first. I think you can read that. I'm going to be in the picture too because I'm a picture hog. Then this way. Take a look at that. If you need any of those numbers, if this is backwards, which it very well may be, I don't know how to fix that. We're getting a call. So let me grab this call and then we'll get back to it. But let's get back to the motorcycle. So as you see here, I've pulled this off, and that's where these go. It's just two screws in the back. I'm gonna call them screws again, but it's the same hex. The what did I say? What I think I said it was a 27. It may have been a 25. Can't remember. But same thing as it is to take the dash off. So we are going to reinstall this. Of course, it's in a strange place, so getting it to hold. You can't get your fingers in there to just drop it in easily. Don't over tighten these. you don't want to break off the little nipples in the back that you screw into. You snap those off, then you got to go get a whole piece, unless you can weld plastic. Now they make a really good glue that I used to fix a dash bezel on my 97. I'm sure you've seen the videos of me working on that truck. Well, I got where the fuel tank switch is, the switch from front and rear, the bezel always breaks, and it's a pain in the ass. So I found this glue, I forget who made it, and now, like I said, you don't want to break, don't over tighten that at all. Don't drop your bit either. Gotta keep your bit. This thing isn't the greatest at holding bits. I have one that I use for my drill. Don't know why I didn't go get it. Now, notice how light I'm just using a finger to push. Once I hit that, right there, once I hit that resistance, I'm stopping. I do not want to take the chance of breaking that bezel, because I bet that bezel is going to cost more than this whole project. I don't know that to be fact, but I bet. So far, this wiring kit is damn near the most reasonably priced thing I've ever seen at Harley Davison. I'm not knocking Harley. Harley's got their business and people love them. But like everyone says, HD, $100, $100. Every time you go there, if you spend less than $100, you left with a sticker. So, at great price. Quality plugs, quality wraps, very nice. That's the relay. Everything is very, very nice. I'm not sure. I need to read the instructions. And when I was a kid, I used to call them the constructions. I don't know why, but it did. All handy dandy. So I'm going to take a second to read these, figure out exactly what to do. So you guys in watching the video are going to think that I read this in a blink of an eye because editing, but you get to just watch me do the work. I'm going to read these and come back to it. See you soon. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for part 2. The recording of this video went over an hour and a half, so I've got to make it a 2-part video. So I hope to see you on the next one. Also, enjoy the models. This is our new t-shirt line. This is the women's line. On the next video, I'll show the men's t-shirts. Contact me if you want to order.